All right, so today we're going to be talking about pH. We've talked about the pH scale, but what does that really mean? So what pH means is this stands for the power of hydrogen. Okay, pH is the power of hydrogen. And basically, it is a measure of the concentration of hydrogen ions in a solution. Okay, so it's the concentration of hydrogen ions in a solution. So H plus is your hydrogen ion, and these brackets right here just mean concentration. All right? And our pH scale goes from technically 0 to 14. All right? And the reason for that is that the dissociation constant for water is 1 times 10 to the negative 14. All right? So basically what we do is we look at what the concentration of hydrogen is in your solution, okay, and we do it on a scale, all right? So we actually use the log function from math class, and what that allows us to do is it allows us to convert between 1 to 14 when really we're talking about 1 or times 10 to the 0 all the way to times 10 to the 14. Okay, so this is converted into an easier to use format, all right, and that's because the log function basically says that between a pH of 1 and a pH of 2, it's times 10, okay? So this might be 1 and this would be 10, okay? So they have a factor of 10 in between them, okay? But what's really, really important, I want you to know it's on a scale of 0 to 14, and that's because of the dissociation constant of water, okay? And I want you to know that it's the power of hydrogen, and that it's based on the concentration of hydrogen ions. That's so, so important, all right? And we're going to use the log function for this. So we'll show how to do that in just a minute. So first I want you to take out your calculator. You do need to actually use your calculator while we're going through this. So take it out, get it ready. And then what I want you to do is I want you to find this log button right here on your calculator. That is what we're going to use in order to do the math here. All right, so the formula we're going to use is pH equals negative log of the concentration of H plus. All right, so it'll be negative log of some number. All right, so the first thing that you're going to have to type in is you're going to have to use your minus, your negative sign, not your minus sign. Okay, use your negative sign, and then you're going to hit this log button, and then it's going to pop up, it's going to say log, and then you're going to put in your number. All right, so that's how you're going to use your calculator. So I want you to try this one with me. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to calculate some pH. So when we're given a concentration of hydrogen ions, we can calculate the pH. So this is the formula that you're going to use. And remember, this is a negative sign. So pH equals negative log of the concentration of H plus. You must memorize this, all right? And I'm going to tell you in this question, we have 0.0045 molar of H plus. My question is, what is the pH? Well, I'm going to set it up. I'm going to do negative log 0.0045. So I'm going to put that in my calculator, negative sign, log button, and I'm going to get an answer of 2.346, which is about 2.35. And we're always going to use 2 decimals when we're talking about pH. And that is going to be my pH. All right? Similarly, you can also calculate pOH. And all that is, it's the negative log of the concentration of OH minus, okay? So you're looking for the concentration of that hydroxide to find pOH. So if I find pOH, I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to do negative log of 0.04 molar is equal to my pOH. And if you'll notice here, this is of NaOH. So that's how I know I'm finding my pOH. So when I put that in my calculator, my pOH is 1.397. for my POH, all right? But sometimes it's not easy to talk about things in POH. I really want to know my pH. So what we know is because of that constant for water, we know if I add up my pH and my POH, I will get 14 every single time. So this is a formula you're going to need to know, right? So now I can calculate the pH of this solution using its POH, okay? Because I know pH plus my POH, which is 1.39, equals 14. So I'm going to just do a simple subtraction step. pH equals 14 minus 1.39, and I will get 12.61 as my answer. And that's my pH for this one. All right, so the skill is the same. It's depending, are you finding the negative log of the hydrogen ions or of the hydroxide ions? So the next thing is sometimes we're given the pH. So if I have a pH of, say, 5, can I figure out how many H plus ions I have? Absolutely. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pay attention not just to this log button, but do you see this little 10 to the x? That's the inverse log. Okay, so you're looking for a 10 to the x. That's the inverse log. So what you're going to do in order to be able to access this is you're going to click the second button, and then you're going to hit the log. And what will pop up is usually this, and then a little caret, and this, and then you'll put your number in here. Okay, but you don't need to type this in separately. What I want you to do is I want to hit second, log, and that will get this right shown up on there. That's called the inverse log. Just like multiplication and division are inverses, log and 10 to the x are inverses. All right, so let's calculate the concentration of H plus when we're given the pH. So for this one, we have a pH of 3.6. What is the concentration of H? Okay, so I know that pH equals negative log the H plus, and so I'm going to do 3.6 equals negative log of my H plus. All right, so now I'm going to put this into my calculator. So my concentration of H plus is going to be, I'm going to type in 10 to the x, get that second log button in there, and then I'm going to have to put in negative 3.6. All right, so let's put that in our calculator. And the answer that you should get is 2.51 times 10 to the negative 4 molar. Because remember, this means concentration. Those brackets mean concentration. All right? And that is going to be how you find the concentration of H plus when you're given a pH. Similarly, you can find the concentration of OH minus if you're given a POH. Okay? And that's it for now. Nice work.